Welcome back everybody to the loser bracket final of the SLTV Pro Series Season 11 Duza Gaming versus Scary Faces. After a game number 1 which lasted, I think it was 81 minutes, lots of team fights going on, rapiers, we had everything, failed chronospheres, hexes, 6 mystic flares in one fight. Man, what more can you ask for? Man, we're of course HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, I'm joined by MRP Dota, more rage please. Do you think we're gonna get as good of a game?
I don't know. We did have everything in that one except for an assault cuirass. No side decided to build that. Either way, Scary Faces taking what had to be a very demoralizing loss for Duza in game 1, but there ain't no rest for the Wicked, and that game certainly was nothing short of Wicked. Don't know if they'll be able to live up to that one, but either way, Duza facing the brink of elimination here. Loser goes home, winner goes on to the grand finals in SLTV Pro Series 11 up against the heavily favored London Conspiracy. So we'll see if Scary Faces, I should say, able to translate that win into some momentum in this game too, or Duza able to beat them out and take this to a deciding game 3. Same bands exactly from game 1 in the Broodmother and the Brew, and we'll see what direction they want to take this draft in. Hopefully we don't see any more support Slarks, but either way, with that quad core, Duza still not able to overcome the late game power of Quista's gyrocopter.
Oh man, Duza Gaming, although I have to say, we both didn't think that they're even gonna get a chance to win the game, more or less. With the 4 melee lineup, having Slark as support, they made it work. They just lacked the finesse to just finish the job, pretty much.
And I mean, having a quad core, right, you're expected at the 80-minute level to stomp a team with really what ended up being a dual core, but it really speaks to the power of the late game Omni Knight. 20 seconds under Guardian Angel, plus the repel, plus, you know, I mean, Purification's obviously quite underwhelming at that point, but just unbelievable, allowing Quista to get off so much of that flat cannon damage with that rapier. The Omni Knight really, if there's any game that makes an argument for a late game Omni Knight, it certainly was that one. And even with 4 cores, Duza unable to overpower that State 21 Omni Knight. Even when they did bring him down the one time, the counter-initiating Chronosphere in the top lane, able to bring down the Ursa, and Scary Face is just always translating it into favorable engagements in that late game, despite being down quite a bit. I think it was 15 and 20k in the way of net worth and experience at one point, and able to claw their way back into that one.
Yeah, absolutely good stuff coming up. But Scary Faces, they got their hands on the Lina. Nothing for chance. And in the chat, somebody, like an hour ago at least, just because game number 1 was so long, said that if Scary Faces win the game, they're gonna go for Podge. They have, I think, gone for a Podge every single time they've been one game ahead.
Although it's been banned out quite a bit as well.
They've gone even for Podge, to be honest, when they were one game behind.
Yeah.
It is just comfort zone. Well, Lina Podge, woohoo! So
they run this as their support duo. Eknart often on the Pudge, a Bash often on the Lina, and if you hook into a Light Strike Array, it pretty much kills off a hero every single time, and they run it out of the Radiant safe lane for the most part. Pudge is so much stronger than most people give him credit for. With that Radiant safe lane, there's so many nooks and crannies to find hooks, especially now with the changes to the tree line, and things just looking very good early on for Scary Faces in terms of comfort level.
Well, we'll see what the next picks will be, though. I mean, I've cast a Scary Face in one best of 3 before. I've watched them in the Star Ladder for the other games as well. I don't think they once gotten the combination I saw them play, which was Lina Podge as supports and Bloodseeker offlane. So I'm not too sure if the Bloodseeker will even come out. There's still definitely plenty of other strong heroes. Juggernaut, for example, could be a pickup. Even the Troll Warlord in some games. Not too sure if they will go for it, but Bloodseeker banned out. Goddamn, Duza!
Yeah, so hopefully we don't see a Medusa, because maybe we'll be in for another 80-minute game from Duza. Medusa, I guess it would be in that case. But Medusa, pretty good versus the Pudge. Stone Gaze, not bad. The physical damage amplification is also very nice. But I'm not sure that they'll run this Wraith King in a one-position role. I expect it to be more of a support. He's not the ideal target to hook in, as it's almost kind of like an initiation for Duza if you bring down that Wraith King and get a massive slow on your team. So Not sure how they're willing to run that. I'm not a big fan of a Wraith King core, so I would hope it's a support for their sake. And the bans that have come out from Scary Faces are mostly core. They took away the Witch Doctor, who did a lot of work for themselves in the last game for a bash, so definitely a wise ban from them there. And they'll also take away the Zeus from Duza, which they picked up in game 1.
Oh man, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm drained from game number 1 just because it got me more awake, if nothing else. But it was such a game. It took so much focus away, or rather, you feel a little bit like stupefied or something. Like, whoa. Hopefully, we're gonna get just an action-packed game nonetheless. And with the kind of heroes we have, I'd expect it to be so. Especially now with the puck being there for Dusa. Puck though, I guess you can try to dodge just light strike arrays and everything off the Lina, not too hard to do. But how do you even expect this Wraith King to be played?
I would think it's a support. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, as I mentioned before. The problem with the Wraith King core is that, one, he's too easily kited. And with Lina and Pudge, who are probably going to build into mobility items in the Blink and the Force Staff, he'll be even more easily kitable. And on top of that, he doesn't farm very well, especially considering you can have heroes like a Medusa, like an Anti-Mage, things that can farm up the jungle very quickly as opposed to him. And he needs at least a Maelstrom into a Mjolnir to keep up with farm in some of those better cores like the AM, the PA, and the Dusa. And so I do expect it to be running a support role. With the Skywrath Mage, they are a pretty good roaming duo, and they're not going to give over the Skywrath Mage to Scary Faces, albeit Scary Faces have already picked up their 2 supports. But Skywrath Mage does buff up the Wraith Fire Blast as well. They have a lot of slow in that Wraith Fire Blast tick, as well as the Concussive Shot, and it's an easy setup for the Mystic Flare. Puck, a lot of magical damage, but we've seen, especially in games that we've casted in SLTV, a lot of lineups go for heavy magic damage and be punished for it. So hopefully Dusa is able to rectify those issues and pick up a little bit of a physical prowess in these last couple picks.
I would definitely hope so. If they want an offlaner, I guess Faceless Void might be possible for them this time around. Have the Chronosphere to their own disposal. Or if not, I still think Troll is a strong enough hero. Same can be said for the Juggernaut. Especially having the Blade Fury up against what Scary Faces has won't be too bad. Unless Lina, of course, gets an Agony Interceptor, then he doesn't care about the Blade Fury. But Death Prophet, of course, the Silence might still make it so that you can play Fury. But I think Juggernaut, in general, is a pretty good hero. Built-in crit, especially if the Wraith King is there with the lifesteal aura as well.
Yeah. If they do choose to run this Wraith King in a core, I would love to see a Centaur for them. There's not too much reliable lockdown for Scary Faces thus far. They will have the Yule Scepter eventually for that DP to throw up the Wraith King. But if they run him in a core, Stampede is really nice with the Wraith King. Also, he's just a strong offlaner. The combo, the roaming combo, I should say, of Centaur Skywrath is pretty damn good with the Blink on the Puck as well. That trio should be able to find a kill on most heroes. But yeah, Faceless Void definitely there, as you mentioned. Pudge, not the most ideal chrono target, but they will be able to bring down for sure this Death Prophet as well as the Lina under the Chronosphere. More often than not, they also do have that Mystic Flare combo, as you mentioned. So definitely some good options for Duza, but they're going to opt for the Meepo here. What do you think about this pick? It definitely does give them the physical damage that they lacked.
Well, I guess, hook into Dismember onto one of the Meepos is pretty damn good for Scary Faces. And of course Lina, just Laguna Blade, blow up one Meepo. The Meepo does have increased magic resistance. Lina, at least with the Aghanims, doesn't care at all. Even before the Aghanims, it's still a strong enough ability to probably be able to burst down a Meepo. So it can work out, but as Meepos always are, it's like, if you can get the ball running, you're gonna just snowball completely out of control. If not, it's going to be so-so, but at least Meepo will have the lifesteal to work with.
It's gonna be a really tough game for Meepo. Pudge is a counter to Meepo, whether or not most people think so. You just fire a hook in the direction of 4 or 5 Meepos, you will find one and bring him out. He will be able to poof back into the fight, but if you burst down that Meepo, and with the before he's able to do so, you kill him off. And with that Laguna Blade that's gonna be out from Lina, it's gonna be really tough for this Meepo to keep alive. He's gonna have to position himself extremely extremely well. He's going to have to get that Blink Aghanims up very early in order for Eknart not to punish him heavily on this Pudge. But it is nice later on that he will spread out the Exorcism damage between multiple targets. But with that natural order available from the Titan as well, it's going to be a tough Meepo game, especially if all their eggs are in that basket. And it seems like that will be the case, as they will pick up a Darkseer for this offlane. So we will see a support Wraith King.
Yeah, it's just I was thinking like, oh, a core Wraith King will actually get some mobility from the surge of Darkseer, but nope. Like I said, will be the support. Of course, it might be kind of like in game number 1 the Slark was. This time around, maybe even just go for a Midas, for example, on the support Wraith King if you can somehow afford it.
Yeah.
Scary Faces though, going for a really late game carry, the Medusa. Definitely a pretty nice combination if you already have that Elder Titan, for example, reducing everybody's armor, so split shot is gonna be pretty massive later on.
Yep. And it is very good against Meepo with the Stone Gaze as well. Somehow I knew we were going to see a Medusa in this game after an 81-minute game 1. But once introduced to teams, the winners of that very long game. Scary Faces on the Radiant side. Abash picking up his signature Lina. Going to be accompanied by Quista on the Medusa. Eknart picking up his Pudge. Super comfortable for him on that hero as well. State 21 in the mid on the Death Prophet. And finally, Shadowway playing up in the offlane on that Elder Titan, Maker of Worlds.
As for Duza, they're gonna have Collapse on the Skyriff Mage, leaving Feeling Good on the Meepo, as everybody likes to draw on the map. Sobaka on the Wraith King though, with Find the Light playing the puck, leaving Lolik on the Darkseer to be the last one. And I do have to say, a couple of Darkseers, I didn't see the games myself, but I saw the drafts, namely in the Dota 2 Asian Championship. eHome, for example, a team that ran the Darkseer a couple of times. I'm not too sure if it was Peak God or C-Deck, but some of the just forerunners at the moment for the group stage there have ran the Darkseer, so might be a kind of a rising trend at the moment.
The illusions from the wall are nice for a Medusa. You will get that split shot, does quite a bit of DPS, but other than that, I don't see the Wall of Replica doing too much work here. I mean, the vacuum is nice for the coil setup as well as for the Meepo poofs, but as I mentioned, it's going to be a very tough game for Meepo in this one.
How viable do you like rate the combination, for example, of like Darkseer offlane and Bloodseeker, like anywhere, maybe even jungle, just like vacuum into Bloodrite, for example? Might not be the craziest of combinations, but I mean,
it's definitely something they would have been more comfortable with, and I think it's something that would have worked better than the Meepo here, but still, I think they would have lacked a bit of physical damage.
Yeah, it definitely might be true, but I think Darkseer definitely is open for combinations. Navi, for example, in the past, or not in the past, but recently playing a lot of Magnets as well once again.
Yeah.
Lolik though in some trouble, possibly, although does have 2 Ion Shells, so Quista can't really stand up against that for too long. Another Ion Shell Abash, I think he's going to go down for first blood. Gets the Light Strike Array, it connects as well. He needs some assistance though, he's pretty damn slow on his feet. Thank God Darkseer only has 5 more, but Abash just doesn't know where to run. Runs into the creep wave. He's just gonna go down to the creeps here. Hook does miss Lolik, and that's gonna be first blood. That Lina just where the hell? Why didn't he just run bottom at least towards Medusa? Or I don't know, man.
He could have, when he was stuck here, he could have ran left, and even though he would have took some Ion Shell damage, the hook could have came in from Eknart from that direction, and he would have been just fine despite going low. But either way, a nice little pickup for Lolik, and that'll give him his surge already. He'll be very survivable in this lane, and I expect Eknart and Lina for Abash to start rotating around very soon, as Darkseer doesn't really have any kill potential on the Duza, so Quista should be fine to farm, and they're really not going to find any kills on Lolik unless they hit a hook into a Light Strike Array before the surge drops.
The best would be if he surges and you hook him mid-surge, so he won't have the surge anymore, but that's most likely not going to happen. I mean, he should be able to dodge the hook with ease when he's surged, so giving him away that kill was a rather huge mistake. Meepo already level 3 on the top lane as well. One of the Meepos is a little bit low with tanking up the tower, but Elder Titan can only do so much to harass. I mean, Darkseer, at least Quista of course is ranged, so he's not going to be just too much bothered about those Ion Shells on the creeps. But it's still, man, Darkseer as an offlaner is, I think, more annoying. Oh, the hook almost even caught the Darkseer, but even if they just buff to the range from the early level hooks, it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's still a little bit underwhelming, but as you level it up, it is pretty darn good. 1300 range, maxing out at that is very nice for Eknard, and he plays super well on this Pudge for what I've seen. But yeah, I really do expect these supports to start roaming. You'll see Eknard walk towards the mid lane with a smoke and a clarity, but Find the Light is pretty survivable on the puck. You just orb out after the hook phase, and you can probably get away from most of the danger, seeing as how there's no really follow-up stun, and the silence obviously hasn't been skilled by State 21, because that would be super unorthodox on the Def Prophet.
So, comparing offlaner Starks here, about to hit level 4, whereas Elder Titan just, I guess, level 3 almost, so not doing that bad. Last hit wise to Lolik also quite far ahead, just because Ion Shell does his work for him. He's gonna go for a bash once again, oh my god. Although he cannot go that deep this time around, because there's also Dragon Side, Light Strike Array, will get dodged, hook also, so I think he should have waited for the surge to end to hook maybe, because he should have had the time. Then again, Creep Wave was coming in, I don't know. It's just probably one of the more annoying offlaners to deal with if you're a Pudge. And Lina as well, for that matter.
Yeah, definitely so. Both unreliable disables in the hook and the stun. Hook can't really say it's a disable, but either way, they are going to rotate down the two supports to help out the Darkseer here, and perhaps this gives Exnard an opportunity to find something. He is postured up pretty aggressively in the trees. If Lolik opts to rotate down, will be able to surge out. But he did actually just use that on the Wraith King, so there is the potential for the hook here. They're going to go out onto a bash. Eknart will be able to flank from behind. Here comes the Wraith Fire Blast. The Arcane Bolt is there as well. Light Check Array only going to hit on the Wraith King. And he does reel in, collapse, and the rot will tick down. No, one more right click will kill off the Skywrath Mage. But Quista, no Mystic Snake mana, just short. 145 out of 150. Won't be able to bring down the Wraith King. And overall, 2 for 1 going Duza's way. So definitely a good rotation from them.
Oh, it definitely was, but Lolik taking a stun. Mystic Snake is there as well. Still will survive, just barely though. 70 HP with the Magic Stick usage. But I think considering that Lina was dead anyway, I think it was fine for the Pudge to come in for the counter kill, because he does get that Flesh Heap as well, of course, once he skills it up.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly better trade in that sense. Also now forcing Lolik all the way back home. Of course he has the Surge to make the run a little bit faster, probably will even TP in back. Still getting just some freedom on the lane for a little while.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no high ground ward in the mid lane for Scary Faces yet. Eknart, I guess, hasn't really committed, seeing as it is a Puck in this mid lane. He's a little bit harder to hook than a few different heroes. Does bottle up now, will use that orb, so perhaps this is the opportunity for Eknart to find him, as the orb has been used, but he will back off towards the courier, and that'll stave off any aggression from Eknart. He is kind of looking to make a decision here, but not sure exactly what he's going to do yet. 5 minutes in, and 5.5, I should say. Midas picked up by Quista, and he's farming very well. 29 last hits to the 32 of Feeling Good's Meepo.
Yeah, not doing bad at all, and it's actually rather nice to, every now and then at least, be able to eat the creep.
Coil mid lane. And they're going to put some right clicks into State 21. Waiting Rift will be there as well. Would have been a solo kill for Find the Light, but Feeling Good going to rotate in and find the experience off that, and that'll almost give both of them level 7. So nice kill on State 21's Death Prophet.
I mean, certainly so, and although maybe bringing in the second Meep wasn't entirely necessary, at least Skyrath will get some XP from the top lane for it, or Wraith King, whoever they want to just farm and get XP from there. Eknarto, double damage rune. Can he actually get the hook this time around? Most likely not. But what I wanted to say before is that at least Quista, every now and then, definitely not too often, he can still just eat like one creep with that Ion Shell, make it a little bit less annoying.
Yep. Yeah, definitely a benefit of the Midas, as well as the farm acceleration for him. Abash is going to find his level 4 here shortly, and that'll be a nice pickup for him. Meanwhile, in the river, Feeling Good has caught out Shadowway, but he's not going to opt to throw an Earthbind here. Only the one Meepo. Not sure if he can get the kill potential, even if he poofs in another. So, still building towards that Aghanims, and does have 1,100 gold on his person. So that's pretty nice for the Meepo. 6.5, almost 7 minutes in. So Eknart mid lane is going to look for this hook. And the Stomp will land, but it is a little bit out of range for Eknart, and he won't be able to find it.
Definitely not an Eknart-like performance in the patch at the moment. Just the start on the lane, for example, Lina giving away first blood, maybe got them a little bit flustered, who the hell knows, but definitely hasn't had the usual lane. The first time I saw him in, they were up against an aggressive tri-lane actually, and well, there on the Radiant side, he just had a field day. He's still hanging around mid lane though, wants to get the puck. At the moment would be a correct angle, of course, puck just running back and forth between each right click almost. I'm not too sure if he knows the Pudge is there. Well, now he knows probably with the creeper coming to the high ground.
Yeah.
But Pudge's
He may have caught a
effectiveness
glance.
so far, I wouldn't say 0 maybe, but rather low.
Yeah, I mean, the intimidation factor is there. It is making people play a little bit defensively. He may run into the smoked up collapse here. He's going to get Mystic flared up, and the Wall of Replica even going to be dropped here, but the Light Strike Array will hit. Eknard actually walking back through the wall there, and the Mystic Snake will bounce out between two, but looks like an easy free kill onto Eknard's Pudge for the duo of Collapse and Lolik.
What was the idea there?
I don't
He had
know.
a tango, just eat the 3 dudes.
Yeah,
the
and
hell
fog,
out.
right? Yeah. I don't understand why
I
he
can
would
draw
have
again,
turned.
man. I can draw again.
But yeah, the hook could have at least landed before dying if he chose to turn around there, but neither of those cases were the case. Mystic Snake going to drop Lolik pretty low. He does have a salve, though. Will be able to surge back and regen up thanks to his Tranquils. And actually, he's going to opt to base for now, which is just fine as the wave is pushed out a little bit far. Only the one range creep coming up from the Radiant side.
So apart from the Medusa farming extremely well, of course, partially thanks to the Hand of Midas as a hook misses mid lane, it's still 3/4 of Duza doing extremely well, even the offlaner. I guess Elder Titan isn't doing that shabby for himself either,
Yep.
but Brave King is getting some farm now that Meepo is just roaming about a little bit, farming the jungle and everything. So they're just spreading the farm a little bit better for themselves, and Scary Faces, although they have some pretty good late game with the Medusa, and even Death Prophet can just do quite a lot in the mid game as well. I think Duza has gotten as much as they probably could have hoped for at the start of the game from the laning phase.
Yeah, definitely so, and a triple stack going to be farmed up here by Feeling Good. Doesn't pick up a smoke and do the poof trick there, but either way, he should be able to farm this up fairly quickly. He's already got 1,000 gold in addition to his point booster, and he'll clean those up for a nice 400 gold bounty. Either way, it's a little bit interesting to note Shadow A has opted for that second point in Echo Stomp, so perhaps, as you mentioned, they're a little bit privy to the fact that Eknard, oh, he doesn't catch the stomp there. That I was going to say that Eknard has not been so effective thus far, so the extra second of lockdown may be able to set him up for a hook, but do want to see some skill in the natural order come out fairly soon. Lolik is going to be scouted out here by the creeps, and Quista rotating over with the Stone Gaze is not going to opt to use it. That the Surge comes out here. Eknard not going to find the Wraith King with a hook, and another aggression thwarted here from the Pudge.
Just, he's not lucky enough with the hook range. Well, I mean, okay, some hooks have just been miscalculated anyway, but a couple of hooks have just been slightly short of range. The first one was when he had a level 1 hook. So now he had a level 2 hook, yet he needed a level 3 for this one. Just a little bit unfortunate. At least it's nice to see that his aim isn't all that bad, but at the moment not getting the kills means you're not getting a soul ring.
Yeah, and it's a
So-
snowball effect too, right? Because if he was able to hit some of those earlier hooks, he would have had levels and therefore some more range on his hook. But everything going pretty poorly. Bottom lane, Mana Shield does get off for Quista. He should be just fine, but he's going to get crit down. And the Wall of Replica doing work there. Eknard not going to find the hook onto the Wraith King. Abash being chased down by Lolik. The Light Strike Array will be there, but the Surge is going to find another kill for this Darkseer. He's going to dive deep for it, however, and will have to rotate back underneath the tower. TPs are in as well from State 21. Lolik is going to vacuum out, and very nice juke from him. He'll make it out under the cover of his salve, and easy kill for the Darkseer, not even feeding over himself. The Skywrath Mage does end up going down, but 3 for 1. Going Duza's way, and all the meanwhile feeling good. Feeling really good on the Meepo, farming up consistently by his lonesome.
Well, even the Hand of Midas at the moment doesn't help the Medusa enough, especially since he died as well. Hand of Midas lost a little bit of value being off cooldown at the time. And like we said, Meepo is farming up only 200 gold shy now of the Aghanim Scepter. And, well, 200 gold in the jungle for a Meepo is just lightning speed. Lolik gets himself a Hand of Midas as well on the Darkseer now. Things looking pretty damn strong for Duza at the moment. Brave King, is he going for a Hand of Midas? Yes, he is. So he's going to get some kind of guaranteed farm to be a semi-carry of sorts later on in the game. Collapse. They want to go for a bash. There's the stun. Concussive shot to fall as well. He has the Laguna Blade, but no chance to use it thanks to the Ancient Seal. And Mystic Flare, of course, as well. Another hook, doing nothing. Has he even landed a single one this game? And
No,
the thing is,
he
he TPs in, throws a hook, and oh crap, I'm out of mana, I have to run home.
Yeah, terrible, terrible game thus far for Eknard, unfortunately. Signature combo for Abash and Eknard not working out very well here. Meanwhile, Aghanim Scepter picked up before feeling good, so he's walking around with 4 meepos now. With that level 2 divided we stand, and things looking scary at this point for Scary Faces. They've already amassed a 5k net worth and experience lead. And mid lane, Stake 21 is going to be coiled up. Feeling good, should be able to pick him off fairly easily. He's actually not going to hit with any of the poofs, but he will be able to right-click him down. And Abash going to run in for his own death as well. Earth Splitter is going to land, but Shadow Wave dropping low. Nice micro from Feeling Good, keeping the low meepo away from him. He'll even get bottled up by Find the Light as well. Double kill going the way of meepo. He's already level 12 to the highest level, level 10 on Scary Faces.
Yeah, and Find the Light, 13 minutes in, with Power Treads also finished. Has the Blink Dagger now coming out on the puck. Level 11 on top of that. Oh man, they are definitely snowballing. 12-2, the kill score. That's just pretty damn sick. Medusa, definitely, I don't think he's just gonna be ready in time to fight Stonegaze. Definitely can be one thing to turn fights around. But Duza, they have 2 Midases running. Meepo doesn't even need a Midas, has already 1k gold. So once he gets the Blink Dagger as well, who's gonna be able to stand up to him? Or what's gonna be able to stand up to him?
Nothing early on, that's for sure. They're going to have to give Quista a lot of space. We still haven't seen a good Exorcism usage despite a level 10 State 21 here. And we still haven't seen a good Stone Gaze as well. Eknard has found level 5, so he's not extremely behind. He was level 3 to the level 5 of Duza supports, is now level 5 to the 7 and 8. So with the Dismember, maybe he finally starts to get something done as Find the Light is going to rotate around, perhaps into his own doom. He will have the high ground vision here, but Shadowway is going to scout him out as he pops the invisibility rune. There were some pings, but he is going to look for a coil here. Meepo going to get hooked, though, into the mid lane. Finally, Eknard find one with the proof doing so much work, and he will bring down Eknard. However, Quista does find the return kill. Abash going to be picked off, but Find the Light going to fall for his troubles here, and they will get a nice Earth Splitter out. It should hit onto Collapse, and it does. Quista will be able to chop him down as well. They end up losing State 21. Overall, it's a 3-for-3. But considering Duza's position and that they bring down the Meepo and that Medusa survives, definitely a win for them overall.
Yeah, Medusa and even the Elder Titan getting some goals, so can go for the Yule Scepter a little bit faster now. Also, lots of XP given away there. Just, I guess that one hook makes a difference already, as we saw. Punch still not level 6, so no Dismember to follow it up with, but they're definitely not out of it. Oh, another hook lands onto Sabaka. He has his ultimate, the tower goes down anyway, but it's a 260-second cooldown.
Yeah, they can use an Echo Stomp here as well, and they will. And the Rot doing work, a hook available in another second, and should be able to finish him off. And Eknard finally finding some hooks here, and he will start to do some work. That's another stack of Flesh Heap for him, and a good solo kill on to the Wraith King for that trio.
By the way, what's your take on Power Treads Meepo? Most of the Meepos I've seen in the recent past have gone for just Boots of Travels, maybe even before the Aghanim Scepter. So, what's your take on just Power Treads versus...
I mean, stats are always good, right? But yeah, I guess Boots of Travel a little bit more of an investment. I would assume Feeling Good with his Quista bot lane. Mystic Flare, a very nice vacuum, but Dismember will be there from Eknard. Hook is there as well, and Eknard starting to find some traction here. Level 7, almost level 8. He'll have 3 or 4 stacks on the Flesh Heap. I believe he went down before the Meepo in the mid lane, so unfortunately didn't grab up that stack. But once he skills that up actively, it will be doing quite a bit of work, and he may find another hook here. No, Find the Light going to be able to blink away. There is dire vision here as well, so he shouldn't be able to find a hook off the back of this. But yeah, back to the treads, I was just going to think that Feeling Good probably felt like his advantage was big enough that he could rush the Aghanims instead of going for the Boots of Travel, and just finished off his treads thinking that he would be so far ahead that the stats maybe give him a little bit of an edge. But nonetheless, it's an okay pickup. He definitely will end up replacing them at some point, as you mentioned. But Midas is going to be picked up by Sobaka. So as you mentioned in the draft, he will look to transition into a semi-carry. And the Blink Dagger should be picked up in about 60 gold for Feeling Good.
Eknard, he gets jumped by 3 heroes. We'll Find the Light is there as a 450 AP. He's pretty damn tanky. He's still alive. Earth Splitter will come out. Sobaka didn't have his ultimate collapse. Goes down to the Earth Splitter. Lolik silenced up. It's 3 kills, and Eknard, he freaking survives. He doesn't even have a single point into flesh. He still just... You're a Pudge, man. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's, as we mentioned, starting to find some traction on this Pudge. 2-4-4 after a very abysmal and lackluster start from the Pudge. State 21's picked up his Yules. Unfortunately, the Blink was just picked up from Feeling Good, so he wasn't able to Yules him before he blinks out. But this Exorcism, despite the glyph here, should be able to find a free tier 1. And finally, we will see Scary Faces find some momentum here early on. Their mid tower is being pushed into by Find the Light, but they're going to glyph up TP and Shadow Away. Hook is going to be short as Find the Light blinks out, but they will be able to deny this tower after one more siege hit, and that is the case here. So they're going to deny up some gold influx from Duza, as the Eul Scepter also comes out now for Shadow Away. So hooks will be able to be set up from these Eul Scepters from both the Death Prophet and Shadow Away's Elder Titan, as well as the Echo Stomp.
Yeah, it's just probably the best is that, I mean, you can Yules and straight up hook, but you won't get the damage then. So it's probably best if it's like Yules, Light Strike Array, Yules, Echo Stomp, something like that, like you mentioned. Yeah. So we'll see how well they can use that. Feeling Good though, still farming up reasonably well on the Meepo, although Medusa is actually surpassed him. Well, oh, they get another hook this time around with the Dismember. It is the Puck, so... I mean, I'm not too sure if Meepo isn't active enough or if Duza were just taken back a little bit too much by their recent failures or what's the case, but... Man, Scary Face is striking back in a big way.
Yeah, definitely so. And I mean, you can never underestimate this combo of the Lina Pudge. They are just so comfortable with it, and a lot of teams would get down on themselves after that start, but still plugging away, looking to find their spots, and they're able to recover somewhat well here. We see a 7,500 net worth lead be cut down to 2,500, and Experience at equilibrium. Mid lane though, Vac back onto State 21 is actually going to make him dodge the Earthbinds. He will get poofed down, however. Mystic Flare not going to be needed. Earth Splitter does hit on all 4 Meepos, but they'll all be fairly healthy and just fine to survive. Nice kill onto State 21 there. All the meanwhile though, Quista farming up. Yasha is there, as well as his Perseverance and an Ultimate Orb. He will finish off the Lincolns as opposed to the Manta here, and will make him ever the more survivable up against what the toolkit of Duza will be good versus that Ancient Seal, as well as the Wraith Fire Blast.
But it's just Arcane Bolts take it off so easily though. We'll see if the Arcane Bolt, it has to land before Shadow Wave though. No Earth Splitter, but still he might get caught by Feeling Good. He's gonna get silenced up and stunned. Nice vacuum onto free. Quista though alive, gets the Stone Gates off as well. Sobaka, does he have his ultimate back? Yes, he does. They do not want to get slowed down, but the split shot kills one, will kill a second one. Feeling Good though, he goes down just to the Astral Spirit. Quista now in some trouble possibly, surrounded by 3 heroes, ditched by his teammates for the most part. Eknar though wants to come in, hook, 1 second cooldown, but he's probably, come on. Well, he could have gone for Sobaka's damage, but Dismember, can he catch up to Find the Light? Doesn't even need to. Elder Titan stays alive thanks to the Eul Scepter, so a great fight. Don't think they can finish up Roshan. Oh, never mind, they can, they have Exorcism.
It was actually Eknar's hook once again that finishes off the Meepo there. He blinks to the high ground to poof down Abash, and Abash not able to use the Laguna Blade in that battle either, so that bodes well for Scary Face's chances hereafter, where they do have that cooldown being used, and they'll bring down the Roshan for free. So a little bit of hubris coming out from Duza. Hook goes out mid lane and kills off the Skywrath. So Eknard starting to do very well. 6 stacks on his flesh heap, and he's going to pick up a full urn and finally start to become relevant in this one. Level 11, he's surpassed all 3 of the other supports in the game.
Wow, I just... Wow, man. This game, Scary Faces, how they turn things around. The kill score, I don't know exactly the minute when it was at, but it was 2-12. Suddenly 15-17. Only a 2 kill difference. Quista, of course, in the previous fight, Stone Gaze just wrecked Duza more or less. Yeah. Like you mentioned as well already, maybe not quite in the draft, but at the start of the game, that Pudge, although not maybe counted as like a straight Meepo counter, you did say that you throw out the hook, 1 Meepo will get hit.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately the downfall of the Meepo pick, especially into a Pudge. And actually a couple days ago we saw this same exact pick flesh out in this way, and Scary Faces feasted off of that with Eknar's Pudge. So BKB is going to be picked up now from Stake 21 as well, and things looking very good for them in this mid game. Quista completely overtakes the Meepo on the net worth chart. 13k to the 10k of the Meepo, and 1900 gold in addition to the Yasha. Can look to finish off a Manta Style or perhaps look to build into a Scotty. Meanwhile, bot lane, Echo Stomp is going to go out. It's going to be a bit early onto Sobaka, but they should be able to bring him down. Reincarnation on cooldown here. Tower hit going to come through. One more stapler to the face from Shadoway, and that's a free kill in the bot lane, and the deny is a little bit late from Abash, so the Dire will find the gold for that tower, but either way, still find a nice kill on the Wraith King, and he hasn't been able to find anything after that Midas pickup.
Yeah, and well, speaking of his Midas, he actually ran towards the creeper. He was like, I'm dead anyway, but in the jungle got to use his Midas just before his death. So Scaryface is not being able to kill him off immediately, gives him a little bit of extra value, and like you said, tower did not get denied. Lina's right click, just attack animation, a little bit too bad. If it's already in the air, it's fine-ish, but it's just the start of the attack is so damn horrible for that hero.
Yeah, and it couldn't be good because of Fiery Soul. Unfortunately, that mechanic would be a little bit OP if her animation was any better, but yeah, as you mentioned, pretty terrible one. Either way, will be a haste rune up on to Collapse. It's actually going to expire now mid lane, so him and Find the Light not going to look for some kills, but Quista has the battering ram with the Aegis and Stone Gaze ready. You're going to look to take down this tier 2 and going to elicit a response from Duza, already Darkseer, as well as Feeling Good's Meepo on the high ground, looking to mount a defense here, but by the time they do gather up, aside from this glyph stalling things out, this tower may be down.
I mean, Scaryface is playing it correct at the moment, taking things slow, not going too deep, although they might get kill on Puck if the silence is timed correctly. Of course, has a phase shift, too strong, nice silence as well, but Yule Setter buying some extra time, and well, no dismember even needed. Light Struck Array waiting for it. Hook randomly thrown out, does not connect, but who the hell cares? I mean, Eknard, although the start was slow, I think he's done plenty to redeem himself for this game already as it is. But Duza, they are trying to split push. Whether it's gonna work out the bash. Whoa! Oh, bait! The hook, the silence, the dismember. The kills are there. Mystic Flare spread out by so many people. Collapse will lose his life. 3 heroes down. Puck does have buyback with the ultimate, but they're losing the tier 3. Can they even fight? I mean, Krista has the Stone Gaze, has the Aegis, has the Midas, which he's not using.
Feeling Good doesn't seem to think so. He's pushing in the off lane. He takes down a tier 2 here. Probably will look to go high ground as well, but by the time he gets to that tier 3, his Raxes will be down to this Exorcism. There is the TP response available from 3 heroes, from Scaryface's Quista being one of them with the Stone Gaze. He will be the first to TP back and farm up this wave, and Medusa looking very good at this point. Already has the 2 ultimate orbs on the way to her Scotty. She can walk over to the side chop and complete it up. And that's going to look very good now. 17k net worth, 4k ahead of Feeling Good's Meepo, who was left completely unchecked early on in this one. Meepo does have an ultimate orb on the way to his Hex and will be building that fairly soon. But either way, don't know if it's quite enough to take down this Quista with a full Scotty now.
It's definitely going to be a little bit tough, but it's the step in the right direction at least. Although Scotty 2k HP on Medusa, quickly acquiring levels as well, which mean every single level 2 more points into strength, agility for the armor, everything. Of course, even mana for the Medusa is just livelihood, having the mana shield. So things looking good. And look at the graphs. It used to be 7,500 net worth lead. Now it's about 6k for Scaryface's. XP from about 8,000 in Dusa's favor to 7.5 in the opposite direction. Oh god, well, Duza, they have a long way to climb, especially with this early on being a set of racks behind. I'm not too sure if it was the best decision even not to fight, but then again, not too sure if they could have fought against the Aegis and the Stone Gaze.
Yeah, Quista had a regen rune, so really a lot of effective HP top. Once again, going to stand as the battering ram. Actually, the regen was the Aegis expiration, I should say. So that is down now, but Roche not up for at least 3 minutes here. Feeling Good gonna scout this out perhaps. He's just walking through the river to look to split push the bot lane. Shadoway is there to stave him off, however, and in the mid lane, Eknard looking for a hook, but they actually blink up into his face. He can't find a dismember here, but Feeling Good gonna be able to poof in. He actually denies himself with the rot, and the Stone Gaze is gonna land on all these meeples. However, there is a Hex onto the Duza. Mystic Flare is there as well, but Medusa just gonna man up here. BKB popped by Stake21, getting pretty low, however. Proofs are gonna be there, but the Laguna Blade dropping the meepos very low. Feeling good, still doing a lot of work. He'll bring down Quista, will die shortly thereafter, however. And the Wraith King's Reincarnation gonna pop. Earth Splitter gonna whiff completely. Stomp will be there, however, with the Exorcism doing a lot of work into Sabaka. Stapler is gonna be popped into Collapse's face. Exorcism will finish him off, and the orb back from the puck is gonna be just a zoning one, as he actually will juke to the west and find the light with a cheeky little play there. Will be able to blink away and TP. Meanwhile, though, the engagement overall still going well for SFZ. Unfortunately, Quista dropping before the meepo in that one.
Yeah, he was actually toying around within the Dream Coil range for quite some time in the end. Just before it would have expired, he broke it anyway, and I think that was kind of his demise. But they got the counter kills, although XP-wise, mostly if nothing else, Duza came out ahead. Also, the Laguna Blade wasn't maybe aimed at the best meepo at the time.
Yeah.
Still, though, worked out semi-decent-ish for them. Nothing too much to worry about, I think. They got the Reincarnation, which is going to be back in 100 seconds. But the 100 seconds might be a window just big enough for Scary Faces to get another objective. At least get the last outer tier 2 off the map. But Eknard, with his Invis Rune...
Yeah. I was going to say, with these racks down, he may look to find something. He's also picked up a blink of his own, so... Eknard looking for some solo kill potential. Doesn't have any support waiting in the wings, but just going to scout things out for now. Doesn't have any wards to place either, and will back off. Meanwhile, top lane, Yule Scepter up onto the puck. He will be able to phase shift the Silence and the Stomp, but the Crypt Storm will be there to cancel a possible blink, and he's going to get Yulesed up once again, so he won't be able to blink out quite yet, but under the phase shift should be able to do so. But he does blink into the trees here. Spirit will scout him out. Stomp will be a little bit late as he does TP out. Lucky for him was the shortest TP duration.
Feeling good coming in though, has the Hex ready, he's gonna go for, whoa, Yule Scepter buys a little bit of time, nice silence from Stake21, but he should not have shown himself. He just pretty much gave his own life for the Elder Titan, and that is not worth it, although Feeling Good comes in, nice Light Striker, a Dragon's Slave, as well as a Laguna Blade combination. Do they want to go for more Yule Scepters up? Eknard will get the hook, Dismember will follow as well, no stuns coming out, Sabaka takes way too much damage from Quista with the Natural Order, and once again they turn everything around, only losing the Death Prophet. Abash also just has kind of hit his stride now. And how many Yule Scepters do we have this game?
We got one on the Lina, one on the DP, and one on the Elder Titan thus far. So yeah, a lot of setup for the hook, for the Stomp, for the Light Strike Array, as we mentioned earlier. And you can just never underestimate this Pudge Lina combo from Scary Faces. They're looking so good and so much in their comfort zone, despite having a pretty poor early game. I mean, not for themselves, but at least in the sense of what Duza was able to get off of the map. Either way, Quista amassing her level 20 now. Midas coming off cooldown, 2,900 gold as well. Will be interesting to see perhaps if she goes for a Crystalist, Daedalus, or maybe just finishes off that Manta style. Wouldn't mind the Manta here, but up against the poofs of the Meepo, the illusions probably won't survive too long.
Oh, what? Okay. My stream dropped for an unknown reason. Well, it's not going to be picnicking for too long, hopefully, unless my upload really screws up. Wow, that's a freaking first. Hopefully it's going to kind of even itself out. If not, I guess we're going to keep on going and have the VOD anyway. So, fingers crossed for the best at the moment. Seems like it's rather screwed, but we're going to keep on going. Recording is going anyway. So, sorry guys, but shit happens every now and then.
Eagle Song comes over for Quista. That's going to be the Butterfly next item, and she won't really be killable to the Meepo. Like, there will be the poofs there, but so much effective HP going to absorb that, and then after that, the right click's not going to do too much work once she completes up that full Butterfly. Either way, nice ward on the high ground is going to scout out Lolik briefly, and Eknard perhaps looks to find a pick here, but they will go into the Roche pit for now with that Scotty as well as their Exorcism. Stake21 does have a Reaver as well as his BKB, so they should be just fine to take this Roche, maybe even without Exorcism. And it looks like they will opt to do that for now. Eknard looking to find in the rotating Duza lineup, but smoked up is the Meepo. It's actually going to have the smoke popped on the high ground. Stomp is not going to land on the Meepo, but Eknard can look to hook him in, and he will do so. Dismember is going to be there onto Feeling Good. Poof in instantly, though. Hex onto Eknard. Mystic Flare is there, but the Earth Splitter will hit on all the Meepos. Illusory Orb will bring down Eknard. Shadowway probably next to fall here. On the high ground is Stake21 and Quista. Beautiful vacuum from the Darkseer, but the Stone Gaze from the high ground doing so much work, as is the Exorcism. It's going to heal up Stake21 now. Find the Light dropping really low on the puck. He's going to have to defensively use himself up. Quista's going to get Mystic Seal, or Ancient Sealed, and Stake21 is going to drop to the Illusions from the wall of Replicas. Quista still standing strong on the high ground with the Aegis ready. Jump up from Feeling Good. He's going to take a lot of damage though, and Abash is rotating in. Nice Yule Scepter there. The Vacuum is actually going to bring them down, and Meepo probably going to fall despite being on the high ground fairly soon. Abash with the Dragon Slave brings him down. Quista going to be up after the Aegis, and certainly despite a great play from the Darkseer, SFZ coming out on top.
Well, Pudge did buy back. Oh, nice dodge at the hook as well from Sobaka, but Urn keeps his Blink on cooldown. Another Urn charge, Blink forward. Dismember. Never mind, no Dismember, just went in with the right clicks. But it was definitely just massive plays coming out from the Darkseer. Getting 3 heroes stuck on that to begin with. Abash got to TP out. I do have to say that the Medusa, he stood at a slightly bad position. I think there was one place where he could not have been constantly in the wall. So his constant illusions were what killed off the Death Prophet mostly. But still, it worked out fine, all things considered.
Yeah, because they had the Aegis there onto Quista, they end up on top. Otherwise, definitely would have lost that engagement. So big play from Lolik, just not quite enough though. They will be able to bring down this tier 2, and the threat of Eknar's hook is going to back off the puck for now, with those split shot illusions as well, cleaning up the wave, and Medusa can fire in all directions. Either way, they bring down that tier 2. Last hit going to Quista. She'll be able to pick up that Talisman of Evasion fairly soon, and then complete up the Butterfly thereafter. Already has the Quarterstaff, in fact, so the Talisman of Evasion will complete that Butterfly for Duza. 33 minutes in, 20k net worth, looking very good.
Definitely not too bad at all. I mean, net worth-wise, they're not that far ahead, about 6,000, but it's just, hook a little bit short. But there's a Hex picked up now on the Elder Titan as well. Gonna make things even easier for them to get the pickoffs. Although there is a Blade Mail now on Wraith King, I don't think it's gonna make a massive difference.
And unfortunately for Duza, it looks like their time in SLTV Pro Series 11 is coming to a close here. Full Butterfly picked up now. Eknart is going to look to find something. Echo Stop not landing on anyone. Eknart hook does find the light, and he will be able to blink perhaps. No, they're going to cancel it. Dismember will be there. Buyback available and instantly popped from Find the Light, but Exorcism is already popped on the high ground. Stake21 under the cover of BKB, bringing down this tier 3. Glyph will be popped. Eknart looking for something. He'll be able to blink out after the Ancient Seal. Jump forward, Coil and Waning Rift onto 2, but Quista, so tanky, will be able to Stone Gaze, and does Stone Gaze up the entire lineup. Earth Splitter going to hit on all 5 meeples, as does the Echo Stomp. The Exorcism will be there as well. That's the first death of the Wraith King, but Meepo already down without buyback. And things looking very bad for Duza now. Buyback from the Darkseer, so Baka gonna go down now. Dismember was there as well onto the Skywrath from Eknard, and DC from the Meepo is a rage quit. Duza, triple kill going the way of Eknard after that terrible start. Gonna get taken down. Scary Faces looking absolutely brilliant in this series, and they'll go on to face London Conspiracy in the grand finals.
Man, should be a pretty damn exciting series coming out. I don't think they've faced each other this tournament yet, because Duza got knocked out by London Conspiracy from the winner bracket final, so should be a pretty damn great match. Scary Faces so far have looked extremely dominating in most of their just games, so kudos to them. Really well played, just whipping out the punch like no other. Really, just Eknard definitely knows that hero through and through, more or less. But guys, this will be it. Extremely sorry for the picnic and everything. My upload still is messing up, but I guess about 11 to 12 hours of streaming, finally my upload gives up. But it was the last game of the day anyway for us, so I guess somewhat fortunate timing. But man, any last words?
Yeah, just well played, as you mentioned, from Scary Faces. Probably will see a respect ban on at least the Pudge from London Conspiracy in the grand finals. But that's tomorrow, guys, 18 CET, same time, same place, HeflaTV 2. So definitely come check us out for that best of 5, and all the glory going to go the way of either Scary Faces or London Conspiracy. So thanks so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed the stream, certainly hit the follow button.
Certainly so, guys. So it's HeflaTV on both Twitter as well as Facebook. Us you can find on @Coucher as well as @MRP Dota. Also, they are in the title of Twitch, but once again, apologize for the frame drops in the end and you missing some action, but the VOD will be properly uploaded onto youtube.com/HeflaMoke anyway. But with this is gonna be it. I do believe HeflaTV 1 is still going, yes, with Balkan Bears versus London Conspiracy, so check out HeflaTV 1 for more Dota for today. We'll also be starting at 5 CET tomorrow or tonight, tomorrow morning with CET or tonight, however you want to call it, but Dota 2 Asian Championship, Asian Qualifiers, we will be covering select games of it, so lots of Dota more to come tomorrow.
GG, guys.